Hi guys, today I'm showing you the Assassin Showcase that I promised to show you. So I'm going to grab every ability that is Assassin related real quick. So let me do that. Alright, so these are the current Assassin abilities. I'm pretty sure these, exclusive Assassin only for the most part. So Veil is the first move you get when you hit level 30. I'll show you what it does. It is a permanent invisibility outside of combat. Has a 1 second cooldown. You can go in and out of combat. The second you attack or you are hit, if they do somehow hit you, you will come out of Veil. The next move is Gouge. So Gouge, once in close range, sees a humanoid target and viciously slash their eyes, leaving them blinded. So here's what it looks like. Does 40 damage, leaves them stunned for this long, and they also can't see a thing. But its cooldown is around, I think I counted 165 seconds. That was just me counting, it wasn't a stopwatch or anything. Anyways, around that time, plus I'm elf, so add 10% onto that. The next move is going to be Liver Shot. Liver Shot, deliver a precise punch to the enemy's liver, causing intense pain and stunning them for a short duration. So it's a long charge up, does 19 damage, and you could see he was kind of like the character. He was kind of like pushed up for a second if you saw the animation. That's the stun. It works on that. Gouge again, by the way, I'm going to reiterate this. It only works on humanoids. It doesn't work on monsters. Yeah, the Liver Shot cooldown's pretty good. It's not too bad. Next ability, Greater Initiative. I think this is a Thief as a whole. I think you get this on Assassin and Ninja. So Greater Initiative, your attacks inflict greater damage when you catch your enemy off guard. So basically when the enemy is out of combat and you hit them, you will just do more damage. You get that from Initiative, and then it upgrades into Greater Initiative. Ambush was the next move I got. Hold on, I gotta take off this move real quick. So Ambush, piercing strike that secures a hold on the target, so it has a bit of range. So I'll show you that. It dashes towards them, hits them twice. Once for 17, once for 24. This is my stats, by the way, if you're curious. I don't have the best gear or anything. Oh, and here's my dagger. And then Shadow Step. So here's Shadow Step. Also the cooldown on Ambush isn't too bad either. It's pretty good. As you can see, Gouge is still on cooldown, so that's pretty ridiculous. Shadow Step. Step through the shadows to get to your target. So from a certain range, you will teleport to the opponent and then gain a massive speed boost for a few seconds. That was about the max range there that I showed you, just around that. So that's pretty good. And then you have Deathmark as your level 40 ability. Unleashing ambush upon a target that is already bleeding invokes Deathmark. Perfect. Now he's bleeding. So you see that did 5, 5, 5, and then I think it did 10, and it also hit initially. So that's the Deathmark ability right there. I don't know the cooldown on Deathmark. I don't even know if there is a cooldown on it. I assume it would probably share a cooldown with Ambush, because it doesn't give me a specific cooldown on Deathmark. So that's that. I'll show you some other Thief abilities that are given to Ninja and Assassin. Alright, so some of the other moves that you get as a Thief, Ninja and Assassin. Maybe Assassin gets some of these exclusive. We have Trained. Gain damage reduction on a successful parry. So every time you parry, you have 3 seconds of 5% damage reduction. We have Shuriken Barrage. Unleash a Unleash a barrage of shurikens while backflipping to safety. So I'll show you that as well. This is in my 8 slot. As you can see, shoot at a bunch of shurikens. You get this move from... Where do you get it from again? I don't remember. You pick either triple weapon throw or you pick Shuriken Barrage. Oh yeah, you have weapon throw, and then it upgrades into either Shuriken Barrage or triple weapon throw. Triple weapon throw, if you land all 3 daggers, you apply bleed or poison. One of the two, I think it's bleed though. And it's very difficult to land all 3 daggers. Instead, 100% of the time, you should be taking Shuriken Barrage PvP and PvE. We have Garrote. Critical hits make my target bleed, so every time I land a critical, they will bleed. So it just does even more damage on the crit. Double jump, thieves and ninjas and assassins have this ability. You can just double jump. Backstabber, you deal more physical damage when you're behind your enemy. So I did 27 there. I did 18 there. Dagger Mastery, every class probably has this. You just deal more damage with your weapon by 10%. Piercing Slash, you get this. This is an upgrade off of the first move. You get to pick either Piercing Slash or Piercing Thrust. I have not tried Piercing Thrust yet, because I think Piercing Slash is perfectly fine. What was I going to show you? Oh yes, Piercing Slash. So this is a gap closer. 38 and then 26, that's in the front. And then Backstab. So Backstab, a swift and precise strike aimed at the target's most vulnerable spot. Significantly increased critical chance when you hit from behind. So you want to always use this from behind if you can. And I did 92 damage with it there when I crit. So the class is very geared towards PvP. It is very difficult to use in PvE. I can showcase my builds for both. Though I don't have a solid PvP build yet. I don't know what I want to use. I haven't gotten in enough fights. So this is a rough idea of what the PvP build looks like. Dagger Mastery, because I mean you just get more damage for free. Garrote, you need this. This is essential to your build because you want to build your build. You want to make your build around agility because agility gives you crit chance. I only have 8.4 because my gear is kind of mid. The more crit chance you get, the more you're going to make, the more you're going to crit, and the more you're going to make people bleed. Dual weapons, I just like using dual weapons, so I mean that's just a thing I use. Also, it gives you more stats for agility. Focus training 2 and 3, these stack and they give you more focus regen, so of course I want that. Momentum builder should be self-explanatory, you need this. Veil, I really like it for stalking my enemies, and if you know anything about the Thief's Guild, that's where you can go get contracts to kill people. You can just, this is the only class that can do this in the entire game. I followed a group of 3 people for 15 minutes while veiled, and it was perfectly fine because they could not see me the entire time. Once my target got isolated, I killed him, and it was pretty simple. Like, there's no other class that can do that in the entire game. Liver Shot, I just really like it. I think it's pretty decent for its stun. It's just overall pretty good. Ambush and Deathmark, I haven't fought with Deathmark yet, but it seems pretty damn good, so Shadow Step, you're going to need this to be able to chase down enemies. Gouge, you might use this. It's really useful one-on-one. It's pretty bad in group fights. In group fights, I would definitely take something else. Piercing Slash, you definitely want this. It's a good gap closer, a good roll catcher. Shuriken Barrage, really good for damage and just to kind of get out. Protective Battle Aura though, I use this. You probably always want your Battle Aura. I use Protective because it regens me. If anything, I'd probably get rid of Gouge here. Or you can get rid of dual weapons. And I'll give you the reasons I don't use the other things. Trained, I don't parry that much, I'm going to be honest. And I don't think the buff for a 5% damage reduction for like 2 or 3 seconds is worth it. Greater Initiative, this works well in pair with Veil. I just don't think it's that crazy. Double Jump, it's actually pretty useful. Again, works well in tandem with Veil if you're stalking your opponent. Backstabber, I don't use this in PvP because your opponent is almost always going to be looking at you. If you can get behind them and you think you can do good with Backstabber, props to you. I've struggled with doing that, so I just haven't done it. Obviously I don't need to use focus training, I don't need all 3. I barely ever run out of focus if I use these. Duskwalk, I thought about using this, but it's just too hard to properly use. This is an elf passive, by the way. This is like an elf ability. You can go invisible for 10 seconds in combat, but it's kind of, I don't like it. It has too long of a cooldown for just not anything crazy. Backstab, again, too many other good moves on here for me to use this because it's just hard to land. In Gouge, I explained to you why I would use this. Solo, it's pretty decent because you're just going to get a free hit. Especially, you can pair Gouge, Backstab, and Backstabber all together if you want. And that works pretty well because you can just Gouge, and then you can go to the back and just Backstab them for free. And that's pretty good. So, something like this for your PvP build is probably what you should go. Now I'll show you what the PvE build looks like. Alright, this is something what your PvE build will look like. So you want Backstabber because if you're in a group and you know what you're doing, which you should be, you will always be at the back of the enemy, which means you should also take Backstab for when, you know, posture break or you're just in a good spot to hit it. Dagger Mastery, of course you want it. Garrote, of course you want it. Dual weapons, I just like it. Focus Training 2 and 3, you need these. Momentum Builder, you need this. Liver Shot, actually fantastic for posture breaking a lot of enemies. I don't know what it is, it just posture breaks them really well. It does a lot of posture damage, probably because of the long wind up time. I already explained why you need Backstab. Piercing Slash, just nice to have. Does do good damage, no harm in not taking it. Shuriken Barrage, pretty good for landing like crits when you need them. Just good to get away from enemies and does pretty good damage. Veil, I just like to use Veil, I'm not gonna lie. You probably don't need this, but if you don't want to get aggroed while just running through like hell or something, it's pretty nice. Protective Battle Aura, again, just nice to regen, and you don't have to use double jump, but I use it personally just because I like traversing the map a lot easier. But I'll give you the reasons I don't use these. Trained, I just don't parry too often. Again, I just don't think it's worth it. Greater Initiative, I'm usually not the one to initiate the fight, so it's not worth it. Deathmark, I shouldn't need to explain, I'll explain when I get to Ambush. Focus Training should be self-explanatory. Shadow Step, I don't really need to close distance on an enemy in PvE. Ambush, I don't use because it pushes the opponent away, and when I play with an archer or something, or someone, I just don't want them to miss their move because I'm using Ambush. Dusk Walk, it just seems useless. Gouge only works on humanoid mobs, so literally any hard monster in the game is just not worth using. So that's my build, or that's my assassin guide, assassin showcase. You need to get way better gear than this though. I have pretty poor gear. I don't have any runes. I've got to farm for arachnid daggers and get some good rune slots on these. I've got to grind for, I don't even know the gear I need actually. I'm going to look that up and just try and farm for good rune slots. I might even just farm for serpent daggers right now. Rings, I don't really know what rings I want yet. Thanks for watching. That's my assassin guide. Like and subscribe. Let me know what else you would want. I'm probably going to make a priest next. I don't know when I'm going to progress that though. It might be tomorrow, might be in a week. I don't know. I'm really liking assassin though. Just know it is insanely geared towards PvP, but it is good in PvE if your group knows what you're doing. And one more time, like and subscribe. Just tell me what else you want me to post. I'll post it, or I'll try to post it. I just need stuff to post, so let me know.